Hi, I'm Annie. Today I want to talk about time, my relationship with time. I have a terrible relationship with time. I feel really uptight and neurotic about the amount of time that is in the day. I never feel like there's enough. I think this is just a classic war between my first function and my last function. So I'm a glass lizard. First function being feminine in E, and then the last function masculine SI and activated. My SI is really intense. So NE is constantly considering new possibilities, getting excited about new projects, lead gather, just gathering in too much information, too many possibilities, embarking on too many creative endeavors. And then I'm very aware of my SI, and I have this feeling of responsibility to organize all that chaos that NE is constantly bringing in. And I almost just can't help myself. I think I'm going to narrow down. I'm an adult now. I can narrow down and focus. But I literally just can't. It's like a compulsion. And it really does feel horrifying. Sometimes when I have the nighttime anxiety, that's what it is. It's why can't I stop myself? I feel very compulsive about gathering in new projects and new creative endeavors, and it has to stop. I have these little moments of horror, oh my God, I took on another thing. I said I wasn't going to do that. I can't believe I took on another thing. But then the thing that I took on is so shiny and sparkly and important. It feels too important. I have to follow through. But I've been tracking my time lately. I'm going to make another video about it because it's pretty new. I've been doing it for about 5 days. It is very powerful and I'm learning from it, but I want to gather more information and I'll talk about that. But one of the things I'll just say briefly that I've noticed is that there is literally not enough time in the day. I am attempting to do more things than will realistically fit into a day. And so that's been, a good wake-up call. It's a good thing for me to track that objectively and just understand that there's not enough time in the day. I do creative things all day long. A lot of people looking at my life would be very impressed, maybe a little envious, maybe they would want to do more creative things all the time. But at the end of the day, regardless of how many creative things I've accomplished, I feel guilty because I didn't practice guitar for the day. So that's something I've really been dropping the ball on and trying to understand, why am I not practicing? Well, from tracking my time, I can see there's literally not enough time in the day. So it needs to be reworked and narrowed down in some way. So that's interesting. But I want to talk about my relationship with time and perception of time and how I'm trying to make friends with that. I have just an inimical relationship with time. I do not get along, don't feel good about it, but my partner does. He's really chill. He's so fucking chill, it makes me sick. He's so well adjusted and not neurotic, and I wish I could be like that. He's pretty clearly a double observer, and I aspire to be more like him. But I asked him, how are you so chill with time? And he said, well, I lay in the hammock and fuck off. I lay around and I relax. He does do that a lot. He lays in the sun, he lays in the hammock. And when he said that to me, I kind of had an epiphany. It just struck me as such a wise answer. Why aren't you uptight about time? Because I lay in the hammock and enjoy myself. He's noticing and appreciating the expansiveness of time. And I was thinking about my relationship with money, which is also really not good. I have a real scarcity mindset and I have a hard time making money. My relationship with money has improved so greatly in the last few years. And what I did differently was really some kind of law of attraction bullshit. I felt kind of this is so fucking stupid while I was doing it. But I just started to get in the habit of noticing and appreciating that I always have enough, even though I don't make tons of money. I'm not an entrepreneur. I am not a small business owner. I am a fucking dumbass who keeps a very expensive, demanding job as a pet. Really, that's what I am. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm enjoying myself. I have freedom. I have no security. I'm not good at making money. But anyway, I have made more money in the last few years, even throughout the pandemic, which really surprised me. And I sort of think that it was because I changed my perception of abundance. Cheesy law of attraction stuff. There's actually some truth to it. When you notice and appreciate things, you get more of them. So I noticed and appreciated that I always seem to have enough, and I started to get more. My online online handmade business became more successful. And it really kept me afloat during the pandemic. Without my handmade business, I don't know what would have happened to me. It would have been a pretty desperate situation. So my partner notices and appreciates time, and he feels like he has enough. He just enjoys the expansiveness of time. And so he doesn't feel uptight about it. And at the end of the day, he gets a few things done. And I aspire to be more like that. I want to get a lot done. I like productivity and efficiency and using the moment wisely, but I want to feel easy inside myself, unneurotic while I'm doing it. So the next revelation that I had about time came to me in a dream. In my last video, I talked about meaningful dreams and how I set an intention to have meaningful dreams. And then I do actually have meaningful dreams, and I notice and appreciate them, and then it happens more. So this was a powerful dream that I had about time. A massage therapist that I know handed me this glowing orb of light. He just handed it to me and I took it. And this orb of light, it was an entire understanding that I received when he gave me this gift of this orb. And the understanding was just kind of a reminder of something that we've all heard before, that time is an illusion and the present moment is eternal. A lot of people have experienced this directly and reported back about it. People who have been on the other side or whatever, some veil of perception has changed or dropped, and they're suddenly aware that the present moment is eternal and there is no time segmenting reality into a bunch of tiny little pieces, hours, minutes, seconds. And I kind of argued with the orb when this understanding came to me. I said, but I'm not enlightened. I'm not Eckhart Tolle or, any of these other people who have experienced eternity or have claimed to experience eternity. Like, that's ridiculous. That's not for me. I can't have that. I can't experience it. I never have. I can't make myself experience that. I can't force a perceptual shift to, suddenly have that experience that a few other people say they have experienced. And then the orb just wordlessly communicated back to me, but you have experienced that in moments of flow. And then I realized, you're right, glowing orb of light. I have experienced that in moments of flow. So I don't experience flow all the time, but sometimes I do. When I'm singing and playing guitar, sometimes when I'm running, when I'm working with clay and making, really fragile clay jewelry, sometimes I have to be incredibly present when I do that, and that's a moment of flow. Lead consume kind of fucks up my flow because I'm almost always listening to information. I'm almost always taking in information. So even while I'm making the ceramic jewelry, it would be best if I was 100% present while I'm making this jewelry. But I'm almost always listening to something else. And, I think that kind of multitasking I'm okay with. I'm cool with it. They say that you can't really multitask. If you do any, two things, they sort of detract from each other. So maybe it would be 100% best if, when I worked with clay, I only worked with clay and was 100% present. But I also get a lot done by taking in the information while I'm working. So, and consume is an addiction, addiction to intaking information. So that's really, really a tough one for me. But I listen to audiobooks and lectures while I'm chopping wood, working with clay, all this stuff. But when I am singing and playing guitar, that actually is a moment of flow. I just sort of step into it and I'm 100% present. So that is a moment of timelessness anytime I have those experiences. And so the orb was right. I am capable of experiencing the present moment as the expansiveness of time. So I've been thinking about that and thinking about how to experience more moments of flow. Off and on different periods of my life, I have experienced more of that. Being healthy, getting, good nutrition, sleep, exercise is a real, bottom of the pyramid thing. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, they're like lower on the bottom. Getting those foundational things taken care of, I think, leads to more natural moments of flow. But I also really see SI as foundational. And so when my systems are really good and, my life is organized, having really good SI systems mitigates chaos. And when there's less chaos, there's more moments of flow. So I think for me, it is good to have that responsibility to SI and keep building it and keep improving it, because I think I do in general have more of those moments when I can just feel relaxed about time because I know that everything's under control. So those are my thoughts about making friends with time. I'm working on it. It's kind of evolving. What I'm learning from tracking my time objectively is really, really powerful, and I'm gonna talk about that in the next video. If you'd like to talk to me about this or anything else, you can schedule a one-on-one chat session with me. Find the link in the description.